But I wonder then, in all this, should we be in a position where we all became Protestants, the Catholic Church disappeared from the face of the earth, and say that happens and we're in this happy sunny day, and all we can do is debate these key things and never be sure, even when we reach a conclusion, that it's the right one.
I mean, that implies that, even in the Roman Church, that there aren't disagreements on things. You have the SSPX and you have the German bishops who are currently all for the LGBTQ, agenda. I think on central core issues, I think Protestants, charismatic Catholics that I think, popes from 200 years ago would have called Montanists heretics. I think everyone has to deal with division. Protestants do. You guys do, but I think then you have to just make the difference of what is adiaphora and what is core. And I think you can draw that from Scripture, personally. I think maybe you disagree with that. I don't know what you...
Well, I couldn't say that Scripture can be the final arbiter, because I know you feel that the Scripture emerges from the Church and you can have a moral certainty of it. But to me, you can these days, you don't have to say, oh, well, this is in this book of third letter of John is in the Bible, it's been there for years, therefore it is Scripture. I mean, a really forensic approach would say, look, how do I know this is written by St. John? How do I know it really should be in there? And how do I know it's inspired by God? It's only a little letter and it doesn't say that much. And so I'm going to disregard it. And who could say, no, you can't? Rationally, you can do that. And of course, Luther began this whole game with wanting to dispose of certain texts of the Bible.
He never did. But
no, but that was under severe pressure from wiser heads.
Everyone really did. I mean, even Cardinal Cajetan, who put Luther on, I think it was either he put Luther on trial or had done something with Luther. We
couldn't get hold of him sufficiently to,
Well, actually, yes, that's true. Well, either way, Cardinal Cajetan didn't like Luther, but he disputed the authenticity of the Deuterocanon. I think that's just... even Pope Gregory disputed the authority of the Deuterocanon.
But
that just happened.
These disputes you talk about, just to clarify them, charismatics, SSPX. Well, SSPX are in schism. That's formally the case.
Is it formally the case?
Yes, it is. They're allowed. They're given privileges by the Pope, for example. But Francis said they could hear confessions some time ago.
Can they celebrate valid masses?
They're valid, but illicit.
Okay, illicit. Okay,
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I know that I've been told that. Valid but illicit. Yeah.
So really, so putting the SSPX to one side, those within the Catholic Church, accept the authority of the Pope, charismatics or whoever they are, there can be legitimate disputes, but when Rome speaks, then that's definitive. And so, say for example, a Pope were to say, look, this charismatic malarkey is not on at all.
Waiting for Francis to say it.
Well, it'd be hard because Pope Paul VI endorsed it, and popes after him did as well. So it'd be hard. Yeah. Pope Paul VI, I think, 1975, said very positive things about the charismatic renewal.
Interesting.
But anyway, the key thing is there could be a dispute where there's been no decision given, and the point is the Bishop of Rome is there as a unifying principle, and even if he makes prudential errors. So, I can't remember which pope it was who suppressed the Jesuits in the 18th century. Okay. That was European politicking that led to that. But it's a decision which was not prudent, but it was made at the time, and that can happen all the time by popes. But one accepts the authority of the popes because failing to do so will mean the disintegration of Christendom, even when it's just within the Church itself and not within the broader civilization of Europe.